check this out, guys. Amazing price action here. So we saw Bitcoin confirm. We know about this. I went over it yesterday. What is the confirmation signal? I literally taught it to you guys in yesterday's game plan. And what we could see is we confirmed, and then the breakdown really occurred. We went right to this level here, this orange trend line, which connects through multiple pivot points going back. We pierced it yesterday, getting as low as about 58,000 before now bouncing back to 61. Notice how, again, if I zoom in on this, let's do that right now here.
Wait a minute, everyone. We all agree that the crypto market never sleeps, but with countless newsletters out there, how do you choose the best one for you? Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin and more.
If we zoom in on the price action, look at how it pierced this line here, but by the end of the day, it closed right back at or just above it. That's always bullish when that happens in the short term. Listen, it doesn't tell us where it's going to be tomorrow, but ultimately short-term bullish, little bit of a bounce right here. It's holding that support. I view this support as only minor, though. All right, what's the difference between major and minor? It's the amount of hits of a trend line, how far back the trend line goes. A trend line that goes back 20 years is obviously more powerful than a trend line that goes back 3 days, right? That's the idea behind it. All right, so just a little education there. Now, just looking at this chart, if we do break lower, which I eventually think we do at this point, you have to respect this 5650, 56,500 level to 57,000. That's this pivot low right here. But I'm still in the camp now that once we broke, remember, I was neutral to bullish on my bias as long as we stayed above this line. But once we broke that, the charts are in charge, right? It's not Charles in charge, it's the charts in charge. And that's the key, is once that breakdown occurred and we confirmed, then it takes away that bullish bias, and you just have to accept it. Like, you may not want to, I may not want to, it is what it is. And that's the beauty of the charts. The charts aren't biased, folks. The media is biased, social media is biased, we're all biased. But the charts aren't. They are what they are. And it's up to us, the good traders, let the charts tell them what the charts are saying. We don't tell the charts what they're saying. And that's the key. Okay, so a little bit of a bounce on Bitcoin here. Secondary support will be right here if that breaks, followed by major. This is major down here, guys. Multiple trend lines converging. We talked about how important that is. When you have multiple trend lines converging, it means more support in this case. And that would be your big level. Doesn't guarantee that we're going down there, but that would be a level where I would absolutely be a buyer should we get down to that zone. Now, would I go all in there? No. First of all, I never go all in on any position that I start. I nibble. And I nibble because I've traded long enough, and I realize that I'm wrong enough where it doesn't make sense to go all in, because then you're handcuffed. You literally don't have any money left to maneuver. The more maneuverability you have as a trader, the better you will be as a trader, right? Maneuvering is everything. Like, think about it if you were in karate, or if you were in a fight, right? And if someone handcuffed you for that fight, like, what good are you going to be? You're going to get butt kicked. All right, now if you're totally free and you've practiced and everything like that, you have a much better chance. That's the idea. Same thing in trading. Be free. Don't be handcuffed. All right, don't be hogtied. You got to be able to maneuver. That's why going in light in your initial starter position is good. Now, does it stink when you're right that, all right, let's say it comes right here and it bounces and you only went in a quarter of your position? No, it doesn't stink. You're still making money. Don't be greedy, right? I mean, like, people are ridiculous. Like, oh, but if I only did that. Well, you know what? If I only knew yesterday's lottery numbers, I would have won 100 million too. Like, okay, big deal. Money is money. Build it over time. But again, by going all in there, if it goes down, let's say to 30 in a crazy scenario, you're screwed. Can't let that happen, folks. It's all about being defensive as a trader. That's how you're going to make the most money. I know it's weird, but offensive traders that go all in on levels, they're basically gambling that spot is it and you're going to make money. And maybe sometimes they do, but what happens when they don't? They get wiped out.
Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, plans to buy more Bitcoin despite its recent price drop, aligning with Warren Buffett's long-term investment strategy. Kiyosaki sees the dip as a buying opportunity, echoing Buffett's buy and hold forever approach. A recent crash led to $300 million in crypto liquidations, mainly from long positions. He continues to buy Bitcoin regardless of price drops, reinforcing his belief in its long-term value. Despite volatility, some analysts predict a Bitcoin recovery to $100,000 by the end of June.
Ethereum, there's not much to talk about on the ETH chart. Just holding above this first little level right here. This is my zone right here, $31 to $3,150. That's your key level. It did bounce off of this first minor support, but again, nonetheless, look at the pattern. Bearish pattern, little down move right there. Let's go into gold's chart real quick. Gold, I have some interesting stuff for you today. So remember, yesterday we were talking about the simplicity of this chart, where basically we had this little bit of a channel, which was bearish, right? We talked about this, right? So here's your bearish channel. All right, big wide range candle down, inside bar. We tried to break above it, didn't do it. Bearish bias, no doubt about it, short term. Bullish, long term for me on the bigger chart time frames. But then what I was doing this morning is I was actually looking and I was like, wow, you know, if we curl over here, we actually have a head and shoulders, which is a bearish pattern starting to form with a neckline break right here, which interestingly enough, check this out, guys. If you calculate the target of the down move and you replicate that to a target, and this is how you calculate targets of head and shoulders. I teach this in the Winning Trader series. But basically what you get is a retrace to the scene of the crime at around 2100. And remember, 2080 was that big breakout we experienced. So if this actually plays out, and I don't know if it will, but if it does, you might get a chance to buy gold back around 2100, which would be quite something. I know for me, I'd be grabbing it decently, not going all in, of course, but decently grabbing a good position there. Looking at silver real quick, let's bring up the silver chart here and see what we got on that. Silver, again, is tapping on this little bit of a intra-channel trend line right here. My thought process is, based on this move, see how it just keeps on going like that? We'll probably break there and come down here, and then that's where I start to nibble lightly. And I stress lightly because I still think this could go a little bit lower, but it's staying in the channel. I'm respecting the channel. I'm looking to buy at the lower end right there. All right, couple other charts to go over. We'll quickly go over oil. If we look at oil, oil still has a three-peat of trend lines converging between $82 to $83 per barrel. It is very close, but it's not there yet. If it gets up there, I think that's where you get your next big wave of selling, which probably even eventually takes us below this low around $72 a barrel. And lastly, natural gas, folks. Let's take a look at natural gas here. Oopsies. And I think I just shut off my screen here. We'll have to bring it right back up. There we go. So if we look at natural gas real quick, and we bring that chart up, natural gas, look at this, guys. This is actually really interesting. We have a trend line, an upsloping trend line. We broke below, okay? Then we retraced to the line. Now, it's still unconfirmed, but still respect the resistance there. It's minor only. But then you're getting a little down move today. So it's getting rejected off that little minor support. This is still unconfirmed in terms of a breakdown. I still think ultimately it probably does confirm. But again, as of the chart, yes, this is minor. So and this is a good little distinction. I'll leave you guys with this today in the game plan. When you don't confirm, here you broke below, but it hasn't confirmed to the downside yet, but you're still below this trend line. It's just unconfirmed. When it's unconfirmed, it's minor resistance, but still resistance. Once you confirm, it becomes major resistance. That's the difference maker right there, okay?
After a decade-long wait, creditors of the defunct Mt. Gox exchange are set to receive in-kind distributions of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash starting in July. The head of research from Galaxy Digital predicts the market impact of these distributions will be less severe than anticipated. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has alerted the public to an emerging criminal tactic, targeting investors who have already fallen victim to cryptocurrency scams and seek to recover their lost funds. These fraudsters often claim to be authorized by the FBI, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, or other government agencies to lend credibility to their schemes. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been released from prison after serving 5 years, following a plea agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ. This is the result of a global campaign that spanned grassroots organizers, press freedom campaigners, legislators, and leaders from across the political spectrum, all the way to the United Nations, WikiLeaks detailed, adding that Assange left Belmarsh maximum security prison on June 24. Global investment bank JP Morgan has observed a notable surge in investor interest in Bitcoin miners After Core Scientific announced it would host 200 MW of GPUs for AI hyperscaler CoreWeave. According to JP Morgan, the combined market capitalization of 14 tracked miners has increased by $4 billion since the announcement. This rise occurred even as Bitcoin experienced a decline. Marathon Digital CEO has shared his insights on the future of the crypto industry and the potential impact of the upcoming presidential election. The executive observed that the Biden administration has historically been hostile to Bitcoin and crypto through its various agencies. However, he noted a recent shift in its stance, likely due to the recognition that there are 55 million voters in the country who are interested in cryptocurrency. Despite NVIDIA's stock decline, AI-related cryptocurrencies like FetchAI, FET, and Singularity NET, AGIX, had shown strong gains recently. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.